So, No Game No Life, episode 4. The episode was kind of dull in some senses. It was a lot more socializing. So it picks off where the pieces are switching off sides, and I guess they turn into the Revolt team, which is the red team, and he's pretty much screwed. Like Sora tells him, like, look, your king's gone crazy. He's obviously lost and ain't sending you guys to your death. So he pretty much tells Kurami, like, look, just surrender. All your pieces are against you now. And she's like, no, fuck that. Everyone go in, be suicidal troops, like go into your deaths, and if anyone runs away, kill them too. And I guess that was a bad move because her king piece starts breaking apart. And Sora explains, like, oh, in our world, like dictators and oppressors and crap like that have all died from like assassination attempts or poisons and crap like that. So yeah, you can't rule people by like forcing them to do shit or some shit. And they have more experience from being in the real world. So yeah, she loses. Even though I would have thought it'd be like more entertaining if they show like an Ezio piece or some random piece betray the king or some crap. But whatever. So yeah, and there's also some like sub explanation about like Stephanie Dola and her grandfather who had some belief that like, oh, one day a glorious person will come and he'll win wars without having to fight or do anything, and it will be a glorious time. And Sora then tells her like, look, your grandpa's not gonna be the stupid king anymore, and she's like, yeah, our family won't be stupid anymore. You guys are the destined ones or some shit. But yeah. So then they have a chat with the Kurami girl, and she's like, who the fuck are you working with? And he's like, no one, we don't use magic and stuff. You just underestimate us a lot. And then we learn she's a crybaby because she starts breaking down and she's all like, I was just trying to save humanity. And I worked so hard to get the elves help and all this crap. And that she wasn't underestimating anyone and all that shit. But yeah, so she cries a lot. And yeah. Then they have the coronation. They say they can't have two people because Sora and Shiro, they say like, oh, we're both blank. But they're like, no, there could only be one king. So they decide with a game and a card game. And I guess they play for like forever. They play a billion rounds that everyone's like dying or passing out or some crap. And then they read the pledges and they're like, actually, it doesn't say there has to be one person. So yeah. So that happened. Then I guess now that they're king and queen, they have to deal with like domestic things or some crap or stuff about the government or shit like that, culture and crap. So, or economics. And they kind of just start. First, they have to deal with spies, I guess. So they get all the ministries, and they're like, "You guys are all gonna lose to us at rock paper scissors. Anyone who loses has to tell us the truth in all honesty and crap." So they all lose, so now they all have to be honest. They start discussing stuff about like I don't know, like agriculture and banking systems and crap. And it was a little reminiscent of that Mao Yusha show or manga from like a couple of seasons back, or Demon King and Hero or whatever. I don't know. I used to watch and stuff. But yeah. So after that, it goes into some, I guess, the king speech or something where they have to reveal to everyone, like, we're going to be the next kings. And they do some motivational speech about, like, humans are weak and that's why we're strong or some crap. And everyone's just like, yeah, fuck yeah. And then he just happens to challenge every other race in existence. But yeah. And they get the king piece that signifies that they're the leaders of humanity. But yeah, that's all minor stuff. Stephanie Doll is just flipping out that they just challenged everyone else and now they're going to die. But he pretty much explains, well, they think we're working with one of the other races that uses magic, so they won't attack us until they figure out what other race we're working with. But we're not working with anyone, so it's fine. So yeah. It also continues on later to them being in their room, starting to discuss like other races, I guess. One of them is the Fugals or Flugals, or I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but stuff. But I guess they're these beings that just have lived very, very long lives, or they can live a long time, and they're all about information. So they're like, well, we just happen to have an iPad that's full of downloaded information, and they'd probably be really interested in it. So maybe we could get them on our side. And then Tet shows up, and I guess he's visiting now. And he's like, "Hey guys, how do you like this game world and stuff?" And they're like, "It's pretty beast. We actually like it. It's pretty cool." And they go into some discussion about that. I guess Tet is mad because he lost to them at chess, and they're like, we know that you've like probably never lost, and we've never lost, and you're probably mad that you lost. So yeah, be mad. So. And they also discuss that everything is decided by games, so they could probably become like God by challenging God and beating him at a game again. And he's like, "Oh yeah, that is a chance." Ha 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 ha. And yeah, so that pretty much just sums up, I guess, the concept of what the goal for the anime is. Like, because they don't really give a shit about humanity in the full sense. They're just like, if that's the goal to beat you and become God, then sure, why not? We'll become gods in the game world. And yeah. So that pretty much just sums up the episode. It was a lot more talking. There weren't really a lot of events, but I don't know. Who knows? It could get back to active again. They've only played what, like chess and poker and like rock paper scissors, but still. So yeah. So if you like the video, like it. If you want more, subscribe. And yeah, thanks for watching. Later.